guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm joined by two wonderful ladies. We've got Lucy and Marie on the podcast today from Envisage Aesthetics and Training. So ladies, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
You're more than welcome. So obviously you guys have a little bit of a journey to tell us because you've not always been business partners. So do you want to just give us a little bit of background as to how you both got into the industry and how it led you to run a business together and then subsequently the training academy as well?
Yeah, no problem. So I've been a nurse for 18 years and did my normal degree and then my master's degree, and felt, as a lot of aesthetic practitioners do, that the NHS is sadly struggling. So decided to branch out and take on an aesthetics career. But when I did that, I did my training and felt a little bit lost. And then
we both felt the same, didn't we? We went both for bigger companies, and you were one of sort of 15 to 30, and you sort of popped a needle in.
Yeah, you got to hold a
Sorry to interrupt, but 15 to 30 students on a course?
Yeah. So we were split into rooms, but I remember stood around a bed shaking, having nursed for a long time and thinking, this is somebody's face. And I was handed a needle. I think I did an injection from the forehead. And then the needle got passed around the room. There's probably about 8 or 10 of us in there. And then they're going, oh, you can inject a lip. And then I was thought the consistency, the filler was completely different. It just wasn't the time.
Yeah.
And we both were, that's how we came together.
I remember leaving and thinking, wow, what now? Where do I go? How do I access anything? What do I need to do? But kind of muddled my way through it as you did, and then you contacted me.
Yes, well, we were at
first school together. Little school, yeah.
And
Lucy, that's so nice. So you've been
so I'm a slight bit older.
Only a little bit.
So I approached Lucy because Lucy was a prescriber and I had a prescriber, but I was feeling a little bit, so I approached Lucy and she gave me a 3-month trial.
3-month trial? Oh my god! Wait, was it like a subscription service for your prescriptions?
Well,
I've worked really hard to obtain my prescribing rights, and I wasn't just going to give it up for anyone. So I wanted to give it a try.
Love that 3-month trial, and now look where you are now.
So what happened was we both been doing it about a year. I concentrated on Botox that first year because fillers to me was a minefield. So I thought, if I crack my Botox, then I'm going to concentrate on dermal fillers. And so as we came together, we were doing more courses, weren't we? We started to realise that Lucy was prescribing for me. Lucy was sort of turning my potential clients into my clients. And I was thinking, this isn't fair. So Lucy was doing her bit. I got about 3 clinics popped up here, there and everywhere. And then, it was silly things like, a lump in a lip, or I'd be like, Lucy, what would you, and then we just thought, actually, we're wasting our time being separate because the knowledge together was stronger and safer. Yeah. So then it just sort of merged, didn't it?
Yeah,
busier. And then that's just sort of how it went. And then so we merged everything together. We got a little room, didn't we, that we rented. And then the place where we are now, Lucy basically went, I've seen the shop. And I was like, no. And no.
Oh.
3 years later, that's where we are, yeah. So, and then we've obviously done the training. So
and then
it's a nice story.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely because you've known each other for a really long time. You both sort of happened to get into the industry at the same time as well, with the same kind of concerns. It's like a full circle moment, isn't it? That's really nice.
The market is so flooded at the moment with masses of training and development opportunities. We both felt that we wanted to deliver something at a standard that we would be happy with, and that students didn't feel lost or ill-equipped after the training, and that's why we
felt,
Envisage Training Academy, because we offer shadowing, mentorship and support 24/7, which is quite bespoke to a lot of training opportunities. And then we also offer the ability to franchise, so people can set up as Envisage with all the paperwork, all the processes, all the protocols, the tried and tested business plans, and under our little umbrella. And it's just where we're striving to deliver safe and regulated practitioners to the market, so that people know what they're doing and how to do things well.
Yeah. And then obviously just touching on the franchise option, because I think that is something that I think I've heard maybe one academy offering that I've spoken to. So that's like quite a unique thing. I think that is a fantastic idea, because it means someone can do their training with you, or even a couple of people if they want to kind of replicate what you guys have done, and go into the industry, go into their business, knowing that they're part of something bigger, and they've got that kind of lifetime support.
Really, we provide that overarching body of safety. Really, it gives us a discussion point, it gives us training and learning points. It gives us things that we can roll out across. So we've got 2 franchisees we've currently set up at the moment. They're doing very successfully.
So they've come together as well, more.
Yeah, they've come together.
Yeah, so were they, sorry to interrupt, were they 2 students who've come together, trained with you?
And people sort of initially people find it strange that we've come as 2, because even as we're in clinic, we do everything together, don't we? Sort of like you have your roles, and you obviously prefer certain things, where Lucy prefers fillers, I prefer Botox. So it's like we're telepathically just, it's just done, because we've done it for so many years. But the girls coming into the franchise came as 2 separate entities, but as they saw how we worked, and the safety of having each other and the bouncing off each other, the ideas, what's going to work for one client, obviously, as we all know, everybody's different, it's not going to work for another. It's having those 2 heads together that they watched how we work, and they've joined forces. So the clinics that they're running, they've got together.
Yeah, they've got a single clinic each, and then they've got a joint clinic for one as well. So it just means nationally, locally, Envisage is one of our supported, tried and trusted aesthetic businesses for both training and clinics, which is really important to us, and that's what we strive for, that's what we set up for.
And what we found our girls is they are years ahead of what we were at when we first trained. So, I mean, one of them is like the lip queen. Now, it took me a year to even pick up a woman. It's crazy that how because they've had the support, because they've got that confidence, because they've come in shadowed 6 times, and we're helping with the ordering. They've got all their paperwork already done. The branch is there. They're still going off and doing their own thing, but they've got that support. It makes such a difference.
And you know what? That is a real testament to the training that you've given them. Because what I was going to say, Marie, is I know you've said a couple of times that, when you first started dermal filler, like absolutely, just you didn't really want to do it. You wanted to wait a little while. No. Do you think that is down to the initial training that you got, where you just felt too frightened? Yeah.
We both left feeling our initial training just didn't cut the mustard, really. And we know locally it's put a lot of people off. We know a lot of
friends, don't we, that have been and trained. I mean, name 5, straight off, that they've been and spent over £1,000 on a training course and have never picked up a needle since, because the people that we train, we will give them, use faces, pick collages for you, we give them all the stuff that we learned along the way in that first year or 2. We arm them with that knowledge, so it's a minefield out there. So we've got our plan, and we pass that knowledge on, because they've only got to go out and find it themselves, and may go on a different route that's not as tried and tested as what we've done over the last sort of 7 years. So
it can be isolating. Aesthetics as a field can be really isolating, because you tend to be only one of you in an area, and everybody else that does it is, let's be honest, is your direct competitor. So that then sort of brings you up against them rather than with them, and that sometimes isn't helpful or healthy for a lone worker.
Yeah, we've got 96. 96 locally to us.
96?
Yeah.
Where are you based? Where are you based?
So we're in Nuneaton, which is 20 minutes from Coventry and half an hour from Birmingham. So we're centrally located for nationally, really. But yeah, aesthetics around here is quite flooded.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's flooded anyway, but to know there's 96 practitioners.
Yeah.
Like if I just trained, well, I mean anywhere, but let's say like within your location, like you say, it's like you're there on your own and you're thinking, you know,
yeah.
Well, I always say there's clients for everyone, but
there is, and we're not in a situation. We make a good living, thankfully, from it, because we're true to ourselves and we're safe and regulated in what we do. We don't cut corners. We do things as we should do it, and that's you know, for us, that's what we want to deliver, and that's what we want across the board.
And we pride ourselves on that, don't we? You know, we're quite happy saying no. You know, it's our work. It's what we've worked hard to get to the point where we're at. And I wouldn't want to lose that for the sake of, you know, not doing something correctly or by the book. So
you know what, like I genuinely, so I always like have like thoughts of training in aesthetics, just because obviously I'm within the industry. I'm never going to be a practitioner, but I would be so up for training with you guys and opening a franchise. I think that is such an amazing opportunity that you're offering. So is that opportunity available to people who come and do their advanced courses with you as well? So let's say they already have their business, but then they're like, it's not working. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of people do go into it and then they come across a few hurdles. So when you come under our brand, it comes under our marketing and our ethos, our absolutely everything. So our adverts go out across the franchise as well as us, and it just makes it a bit more streamlined.
Yeah, and even with training, once they've done a training course with us, then they come into our little fold. Whether it's just like a skin booster training course, just to, you know, to boost the business that way, we will then, your hours, we're going to look after you.
But they also get future training courses at half price.
Yeah, through the franchise, yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I feel like we just really need to promote this, because that is I feel like there's a real gap in the market for that as well. So
people are scared and worried, and rightfully so, but we're here to hold the hand and take them through, so we're all delivering safely.
Yeah, and Lucy, you're obviously a prescriber as well, so it's like perfect. You can do the prescriptions. It means like if let's say a client relocates, they can go to one of the other clinics and see a different practitioner. If one of you's on holiday, there's still going to be someone there to service clients. That smashed it, literally. I think that business model.
The film Death Becomes, that's us, isn't it? It's like we are one person, we're never going to leave each other. We're never going to leave.
But do you know what? I think it's so nice to have that dynamic as well, not only because, like you've mentioned, aesthetics can be quite a lonely place, but just like having that second opinion, having that extra person there just to take the load off, you know, particularly when people come into the industry, you know, they've potentially got children, they're trying to do their aesthetics part-time as well. Like, that's a lot. So just having
patient safety is always good. Yeah. We do a lot of reconstructive or putting back, if you like, of not great aesthetics, not through our own processes, but from other clinics, sadly. And even if it's down to holding hands or reassurance,
that happens quite a lot, doesn't it?
I'm giving the client that help, because you know they come in, they feel embarrassed that they've gone elsewhere and that it's gone wrong, and that they're admitting it's gone wrong. And I think that's a huge step for people in aesthetics. And you know, we're not here to judge any of that. We're here to make people feel the best that they possibly can, but not by making them into something they're not. Just putting back what time's taken. And I think that's really important in aesthetics. We only do what we feel within our remit and don't take them to places that they shouldn't be. They're our adverts. Patients need to look and feel good, and if they don't, then you know that's not a healthy promotion for your business.
Yeah, 100%. Everything you're saying, I'm agreeing with. So yeah, incredible. So let's talk a little bit more about treatments then, ladies. So I can guarantee if I open my phone right now, I'd see lemon bottle everywhere. I feel like even just this last 2 weeks, like it's just gone crazy. Obviously, with treatments, I think things come and go in trends anyway. But what sort of treatments are you finding are really popular with your clients at the moment?
So we're both very research driven. We don't jump on the bandwagon very quickly with new treatments until they are tried and tested, because I think sadly, people are fighting to keep up with new things, and that sometimes might not be the right thing. So, like in regards to the lemon bottle, we don't offer that as such at the moment, because we don't feel there's enough research out there to support it. The same with threads. So we are old school. We do a lot of Botox, a lot of fillers. We do factor solving, but ones that have been on the market and that have got a lot of research behind them. Because I think to be able to deliver a good and safe level, you've got to have that backing when you're talking to your clients. And for us, we just feel that the lemon bottle treatment is still a bit new to the market.
Yeah,
we are very.
Yeah, it's interesting to get your thoughts on that, because I've seen a couple of posts of people saying, this is why I'm not offering lemon bottle, like here's why type thing. And it's kind of for the same reasons. It's, you know, it's the ones I've seen anyway are, I'm from a medical background, I've done my research, you know, it just hasn't been out long enough, it's not CE marked, all of this. And I think I just want to say to anyone listening who's a practitioner, don't feel like you have to jump on these trends. You know, don't just train in something because you think, oh my God, so and so across the road is doing this, I need to do this as well. You know, really think about, is it something you want to train in? Is it something your clients are even going to want?
Absolutely.
Like,
we ask daily about these new treatments, and we're honest in our reply, and we will say that, you know, we just sit on the fence for a bit to see what's happened and how it's going and what the research that forms that, because I don't want to be the first of everything. I don't want to be the ones, you know, that's not because I'm scared or ill-equipped to do so. I just don't think it's what people should be doing. I think, you know, medicine itself and medical practice is based on research, and that has to be rolled out over a period of time that's been reviewed and monitored.
She's the gatekeeper.
yeah, no, I like that attitude, and I think, you know, it's a very professional way of working. You know, I think, like I've said, I think a lot of people feel like, oh my God, this is the new trend, I need to get on this, I need to get my clients on this. But you know,
it's risk and benefit, isn't it? It's that simple. You know, you're putting, you know, something to a client who's asking for it, but if we think there's more of a risk than the benefit to the client, we'll steer them another way. And that's what we do with every single treatment, isn't it? Every single one.
Even if we've seen them for years and years and years, it has to be based individually, tailored to an individual basis, on their needs, and not just because they want it.
Yeah.
Or because the lady down the road had it and she, you know.
Yeah, and I think these days, particularly with social media, people do look at something and they're like, okay, I need to get that. So I think it's so important as a practitioner to say no and to, like you say, steer in the right direction. You know, I think when it comes to dermal filler as well, you know, a lot of people think
expectation. Sadly, social media is massive for making people look like the ideal aesthetic picture, and in reality we don't look like that. And a lot of our conversations and consultations with clients will be around expectations on what they want and what they will achieve, because sometimes it's just not realistic.
Yeah, I see pictures on Instagram all the time of quite clearly edited lips, practitioners who've used makeup, they've put lip gloss on, they put makeup on their client. First of all, you shouldn't do anyway for at least 24 hours. And you know, it really, clients kind of are none the wiser. I think it's, oh, I want to look like that, when you know, it's your duty of care for that client and client safety to manage those expectations without disheartening them as well. But obviously you've got to protect them and your business.
And it is a process, it is a journey. You know, the pictures that people see on social media are healed patients. They haven't seen the bruising or the trauma or the swelling that they go through to get to that point. And I think sometimes when you point that out to people, they're not as aware of it as they should be, really. It's a procedure that they're having done. It's not just, you know, it's invasive in some cases, and it needs time to heal and settle. And there is an opportunity that things could and may go wrong. But you need to be able to discuss that and review it and sort it if that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Just moving back to the training side of things then, ladies, what kind of major concerns do you find from students who come and train with you? Because I think there's obviously a lot of people who are concerned around legislation and regulation side of things. I think there's what I hear is there's a lot of people who are concerned just around, they've had previous bad training and they just don't know like if this is going to be any good. What kind of things do you feel practitioners sort of generally are sort of concerned about?
Absolutely, that you discussed, confidence is massive. And in what we're doing, a lot of what we're doing is reviewing, and it's repetition. And if you don't get enough exposure to fillers or Botox, mixing it up, the quantities, those sorts of things, people become naturally nervous, which is rightly so because it's human nature. So just giving them the exposure and the support that becomes normal. It becomes a normal process that is regulated, is safe, but it's normal. I think when you go and you get a whistle stop tour on a training course and you come out feeling a bit left or lonely or swamped because you're a part of a big group and you don't feel you can ask. I just think those things what I need reviewing, and that's why we're so we don't train in big groups for that reason.
Three would be the most, wouldn't it? We'd like to try to do it one-to-one, don't we?
We want everybody to get an individual experience that they feel is appropriate to them. Everybody learns differently, everybody's at different levels, and so having smaller groups, it gives them a support network whilst giving them an opportunity to ask questions and support if they need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think because it's come from experience as well, you've both experienced very bad training, to be honest. Putting 15 to 30 people on a course is just, it's not a seminar, is it? It's a practical qualification. But I think obviously the things you've experienced which have been negative will obviously make you even more determined to make the training incredible.
Yeah, I'm almost proud that well, I'm honoured by the fact that we had that, because we wouldn't be where we're at now, and wanted to deliver it in the way that we deliver it if we hadn't had those experiences.
But the negative side of that is we are a tiny fish in a big pond, and we haven't got the multi-million-pound marketing opportunities that other companies have got. So it is hard because we are out there without support people. We want to help people. We want people to experience what we haven't been through. But sometimes you just need a little bit of a platform to be able to do that. Yeah,
definitely. But before you know it, I'm sure you'll have a community of practitioners working under your umbrella, because I'm going to tell everyone about this because I think it's fantastic. I genuinely think it's a fantastic idea, because there's just not enough support for individuals. The amount of people I've spoken to who are like, I was promised the world by my training academy. They promised me 24-hour support. I've been calling them because I've got basic questions to ask, which rightly so you should. After your training, you should have questions. And they're just ignoring me and I don't know what to do.
I remember waiting 2 days for a reply from where I trained, and I was just like, I lost sleep.
We've got a phone, We've got a phone that's on all the time that is answered for that help and support, because if you are in that situation, you need that real-time help and support. There's no point in answering 2 days later. But in the meantime, you've probably scared your practitioner to death and put your client off. So that's not good working. That's not what we want.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that you are so big on the support side of things is super important, and just so reassuring for anyone who's watching, who is looking to do some further training or even just get into the industry. I don't want to touch on regulation too much because I like how positive this call is, and I feel like super excited about it. But obviously there's two things here. So obviously you're both from medical backgrounds. So I think your views might be different to some other people's. However, you did also experience training, which, am I right in saying that it was medic-only training that you went to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you also went to medic-only
different training as well. We both had very similar experiences.
Okay. Yeah, so there's two things there which might affect how you respond to this, but what are your thoughts on regulation, and particularly on the training side of things as well?
So we get brought into this quite a lot, don't we, around discussion, and because we are a flooded market locally, it can become quite difficult to get people interested because they're driven by price or quality or not quality. They just go and have what they want to. So I do think there is a place for regulation. I don't want to close people overnight. I don't feel that is where regulation needs to be. I think the regulation needs to be formed by a broad spectrum of input, not just medics, not just non-medics. You know, everybody holistically needs to be involved and have some input, which I know the new system will do. I think our worries about that is there's already some concern over the categorising of the proposed treatments for that, because I know I was speaking to a lady yesterday about it, a colleague beautician, and she's worried about going on to do any additional training, because she's worried that if she pays out more money, once it's categorised, she's not going to be able to train in it. Well, that's people's livelihoods. You know, I think there's enough for everybody. Everybody needs to stick to their own lanes. I think if there is continuing issues in regards to complications and unhappy clients, then people could look at their practice, and that's normal. That's what happens in medicine and in nursing. But as long as they've got the standards and the ability to reflect and have support on that, then yeah, we should be able to do it. But it takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. And I think that this has been going on for so long now. There's too many outlying people that I'm not sure how you're going to be able to regulate it in a way that's fair for all.
Yeah, definitely. I think no matter what does happen, as and when it does, could be 3 years' time, could be 10 years' time, who knows. There are going to be people who get upset by, you know, the outcome. But I think you're right. Stay in your lane. I think it is disappointing that people do feel discouraged from furthering their learning at the moment. I completely understand why, though. You know, I'd be thinking, what's the point in me spending £2,000 on this course when next year I'm not going to be able to do the treatment? I fully get that. So it's easy for me to say, having not been a practitioner, but I think people just need to chill a little bit, you know, just keep focusing on building your client base. You know, look at the kind of licensing aspect. You know, I think a lot of people do have licenses for semi-permanent makeup, electrolysis, laser, all of that. But really think about, you know, what kind of things should I be improving in my clinic? Like you say, it's things that, you know, that can be done now to kind of head in that way. And those things are just going to make you a better practitioner, or your clinic a better atmosphere. So yeah, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I think it should all be streamlined. Everybody should be brought to a standard of level that runs through absolutely everything in practice, of setting up and the cold chain, hygiene, infection control. Yeah. These are all normal processes that should be involved in aesthetics because of the nature of what we do.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on to faces then. So I know you ladies use faces and you promote it to your students, so thank you so much. Can you just give us a bit of insight into how faces has helped with the runnings of your business, and what kind of features you like to use on the Faces app as well?
So we've used Faces for a long time. We've looked and we've come across all sorts of different aesthetic software, but feel that Faces for us it does everything that we need to. It's obviously, it stores patient records confidentially and in line with data protection and GDPR. It gives us monthly outlooks of how well we've been doing at costs and services, and it's ever changing, so it adapts and it updates to current aesthetic trends or consultations or consent forms, which is really useful, because that is time consuming as a practitioner.
Yeah. No, exactly. And do you both use the same Faces account then? So under the business.
One person.
What was that? Sorry. Oh, you are one person. And I think that's another thing to point out. You know, if there is 2 of you or multiple members of staff, you know, using the same Faces account means you've all got access to your client's information. Yeah. You know, it might be that one person within clinic normally sees a client, but someone else has to see them today because of whatever reason. So it means you've just got that instant access to that person's
it works.
Yeah. Well, we encourage everybody to use Faces. I think it's a safe way of working. And yeah, we love it.
We do love it. Because we're old school, sort of double up still on paper. That's our issue.
Amazing. I'm so pleased it's working for you. Do you use your affiliate link when you're introducing your students to it?
No.
So I'll tell you, a lot of people don't know about this, and I think it's just because when Ben and Ash decided to launch it, it just wasn't really advertised. So everybody has a Faces affiliate link. So if you send that link to anyone that you recommend Faces to, whether it be a student, whether it be a friend, colleague, whatever, as soon as they click on that link, they'll automatically be affiliated with you. So what that means is when they purchase through Faces, you'll receive 1% back on everything that they purchase forever.
Oh, I'll do that later.
Have you got, has one of you got your app in front of you, and then I can just show you how to get it?
Oh, it's on the word.
And then anyone else who's watching can follow as well. It's really easy. But even if you come across a student who's already got Faces and they then click on your link, they will then get affiliated with you. So it's not just for new registrations. But if you've got students, what was that, sorry?
So we can add everybody that we've introduced.
You can't add,
already.
but you can't add them. But what you can do is post your link in like your student forums or student group, and then just be like, guys, can you just click on this link? They'll probably be like, what is it? But that means moving forward, when they spend any money through Faces, you receive 1% back. So yeah, it's just a little kind of thank you for recommending the app, really. So if you go to settings, and then scroll down to make money from Faces, and then you'll see your link there. So you can literally, all you have to do is copy and paste it anywhere or send it to someone, and they just need to click on it. That's all they need to do. So they can either sign up through the link, or if they're already logged into Faces, they can just click on it.
Okay, brilliant. We'll do that later.
Yeah, we'll put that on. There's 2 platforms, haven't we, with students? So we'll pop it on both. Yeah, brilliant.
So that's for anyone else who didn't know that. You can get money from recommending Faces to us. Once you hit £100, you'll see it accumulate. You can request a payout and we'll send you the money. So yeah, just a little incentive there. Ladies, honestly, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I've absolutely loved speaking with you. I'm probably going to do a little story after this and just kind of talk about the franchise option, and just, you know, I just think that is a fantastic business model for this industry. Like,
we think so, and that's why we developed it. That's what we want. We want safe and secure practitioners out there.
Yeah. Just to finish on a positive note then, when you look at your kind of bigger goals, like obviously you've built so much, you've got your academy, you've got your franchise options, you've got girls who are running Envisage clinics as well. What's your like biggest goal? Like, do you envisage there will be like hundreds of clinics? Will there be like hundreds of clinics around the UK? Like,
that would be the dream. The dream would be a national name that everybody becomes to know and trust. So like, I don't know, like hairdressing chains that are out there, or food outlets and things like that, that you know that you're going to get the same standard of service and delivery and treatment, regardless of which one you go to.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I live in Leeds, so I'll be manifesting.
Look out for
it. Clinics comes up near me. Fantastic opportunity. And I think if I was a practitioner just feeling really stuck, I'd be thinking, do you know what, this is such a good opportunity for me. And I think a lot of people prefer to work within a team as well. Like, obviously you can work essentially on your own, but just knowing there's like a broader company to support you, and you're doing everything as you should, I just think fantastic. So I cannot wait to see what comes for you guys in the next 6 to 12 months. So exciting.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much, ladies. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.